Okay, so this week I decided I want to try something weird. Um, Jazza has been doing character designs from descriptions, and if you've ever seen a Brandon Ferris video, some of his videos are about Google Translate. So I thought I would Google Translate character descriptions and then draw those. So we're giving it a shot. Description for this one is: he was a young man with red hair and blue eyes. His right hand is black ribbon and gold. He wears a blue vest with a wide brown belt, high-waisted brown leather boots, beige pants, and wide sleeves on his left hand. So, I do have my guesses as to who this is, but I will save it for afterwards. I start the character design by drawing in the skeleton, and then after I draw in the skeleton, I begin to add certain details, like I've added the torso and the legs, and these legs get drawn over and over again about 3 different times. Using my pencil to measure out the length of the legs to make sure they're both about the same length. And then I begin to add in muscle details like the pec muscles, and then I add his arms. And now I'm adding his fingers. If you want a good finger hand drawing tutorial, go watch Draw Like a Sir. He's got a really good tutorial on it. And after getting the blocking in of all the anatomy and stuff, I begin to add his blue vest. Not blue yet, but it's a vest. I'm adding his poofy single sleeve, and then I'm adding a lighter, flowier sleeve over top of that. And then I add his super wide brown belt. I don't finish it here, but I finish it later. And now I begin to add his waist-high boots. I didn't go full waist-high. I only went about thigh-high because I still wanted to have beige pants in there. And I felt that if I had went all the way to the waist, it would have covered up way too much of the pants. And now I add a bunch of random buckles and stuff, belts and stuff to the boots to give them extra detail. Now I begin to add the ribbons around his right hand. As I'm adding the ribbons, I'm just going in like a random, like crisscrossy pattern to just give it like some, like look like there's ribbons wrapped around his arm. Now I'm adding the little offshoot ribbons to make it look more like ribbons. The ribbons shooting out of his palm are supposed to look like a sword or something magical is happening with his arm. I picture this character as like more of like a mage character with the way it was described. Not very well described because Google Translate. I just picture him as a mage, which is why I tried to give more of a magey look. Now we're gonna add the final details to the belt. There's 2 belts around like the waist leather piece. Now I'm adding shoestrings. These friggin' boots would be a nightmare to put on if you think about it. Like all those strings to put on all the time. Now I'm adding a ruffly collar bit to the shirt because most of the shirts I saw with the puffy sleeves have the ruffly collar. Now I begin to add his face details. Faces and hair are something I'm not very good at drawing. I need to get better at drawing those, but I'm working on it. For his hair, I decided to go with like a half up ponytail, Aaron Yeager style situation. Now I'm adding in the rest of his eyes and his eyebrows, giving him a smirk because he looks kind of cocky with that pose. Now I'm adding his little eye pupils. And now that I've finished the traditional piece, I'm going to take a photo of it, transfer it to the computer, and I'm going to finish the rest of it digitally because I don't have very good color pencil skills, and color pencils are all I have for coloring traditionally. I guess I could have painted it, but painting felt like a lot. All I'm doing here is just going over all of the lines with a purpley color for my inking layer. Pretty much all I'm doing is tracing my original piece and trying to make the lines look as good as possible. I'm not very good with digital art, but I'm working on it. And as you can see, I do these lines like 800 different times, and I just keep going over and over and over to try and get the line to look as perfect as possible. I'm still not very happy with it. Line weight, I think, is something I need to work on. You know. I do think his hair looks pretty good. Ish. I still have some issues with it. Couldn't get his eye to look right, so I'm just using a transform tool to kind of smush and smash it into a bit better of a position. It still looks kind of wonky. I forgot to flip my canvas. I think his hand looks pretty good though. I'm pretty proud of that hand. Really don't know what to say for all this. It's a lot of just redoing what I already did. Sorry guys. I was feeling pretty confident with the whole piece because it was looking pretty good, and then I started adding color, and the flats look okay, but when I get to the shading later, not the good. I decided to make his shirt white. He has a blue vest, so I made that blue. He's got a brown belt. He's got red hair, so red hair, although I think I changed the color of it because it's a bit bright at this moment. And he's got black and gold ribbon, so black and gold ribbon. Gold is, it's just yellow if you don't know how to render it, and turns out I don't know how to render it. And then his beige pants get recolored, different color beige, because I didn't like the way that looked. His boots get colored like multiple different shades of like brown. Some of it's more of a reddy brown, some of it's more of a brown, like a dirt brown maybe. He gets black shoestrings, which turn the boots from looking like fantasy boots to more like modern day boots. I recolored the oversleeve to make it look the same color as the regular sleeve. And then he has blue eyes. And now here's the cell shading that I was trying to do with the colors. I really need to get better at figuring out how to do lighting and hair and rendering everything, but you know, I can only learn so fast, and doesn't help that I procrastinate a lot. I've been working on this project for like 2 weeks. That's how long it's taken me to procrastinate through the whole thing. Anyways, lots of shading. I think it looks pretty good in some spots. It looks not so good in others. Like his hair looks really bad. I think that the rest of it looks okay, although some of the lighting feels like it's just coming out of nowhere. Again, I'm adding highlights to his hair, and I don't know, it just looks like the lighting's just everywhere. Maybe I added too many highlights. I should have added them more in like anime strips. Then I add like little white like scribbly bits to the well, it's like a light yellow to the gold to make it look like shiny metal. Let me know what you think. If I pulled it off good, I don't know. Leave it in the comments. Leave your opinions.
Be kind with your words, please.
And now I just kind of start scribbling in a bunch of lighting here and there. I decided that it's supposed to be like silk, so silk is very shiny, so I tried to add shine to the black parts of the silk. It kind of just looks like, I don't know, like scribbly words written on there or something. And then I cheat to add texture. I just grabbed a picture off Pinterest. Yes, I'm cheating. I'm sorry. But I grabbed a picture off Pinterest to get the texture, and then I slapped it over top of his vest. I turned the opacity on it down and then erased everywhere where there wouldn't be vest. Cleaned up all the leftovers, and then add some gold to the buttons, and then I painted a background off camera. So it turns out the mage looking character that I was drawing is actually Link from Tears of the Kingdom. That makes sense with the golden ribbony arm. That makes sense. I don't know where the thigh-high boots came in and the red hair came in. They got his eye color right. I don't understand the whole double sleeves. Wide brown belt. Link's got a belt a lot like that one. I wonder what his belt actually looks like. I can't remember. But yeah, I like the way this came out. I think it looks like a mage. On to the next drawing. The description for this next one was... I don't have the paper anymore. I can't find it. I believe the description was a Latin woman with scarlet hair, red eyes, a red beak, a red and gold mantle, and then I believe it was a long hand on her head. So let's go. Let's start laying in the foundation of a portrait because I didn't want to draw a whole body this time. And also I was told this one was supposed to be from the chest up. So I drew in the foundations of a portrait. I started to draw a nose, as you can see, and then I remembered beak. She's got a beak, so I started drawing in a beak. I wasn't sure what expression to give her. I kind of thought like a one eye up, one eyebrow up, one eyebrow down, like the Rock meme. But then I decided to just go for like a almost like a smiley face, but you know, she's got a beak. So I had to give her smiley eyebrow. I think the hair looks okay. I decided that the best way for me to add the hand on her forehead was I decided to make it like a tiara or a crown. So it's a weird looking hand crown. And then I began to add weird, like, I fill these in with gems later, but I really feel like I shouldn't have. I should have just left them like voided out, hollow, so you could see through to her hair. Now I'm adding in her mantle, which as far as I could tell is just like, it's like a cloak with a weird top piece. To give the shirt some like texture and intrigue, I added embroidery stitches. There's 2 faces on her boobs. What have I done? And then I add little gold buttons. And once again, time to trace over my original line art. Just lots of repeating old lines, making it look as good as possible. My line art always looks worse than my sketch, and I think it's because my sketch has a bit of like messy lines, which add some like variation and some intrigue, and my line art always looks too clean and polished, which in this situation does not look clean polished at all. It actually makes it look bad. It looks real bad. All right, now I'm adding in the colors. They end up looking okay, I think. Now I'm adding in her scarlet hair, and I'm adding in her red pupils and her red beak. And I'm adding in her red mantle. And then I colored the borders gold, and then realized it looked like she was like a spokesperson for McDonald's. So I colored it in like a darker red, and then added like gold embroidery over top of that. And now I'm adding in all the shading and detail and trying to render it. And I was watching a Sam Does Art tutorial, and I am not Sam, so I don't know what I'm doing. And it just looks sloppy. It looks real sloppy, and I apologize. Now I'm adding in the eyebrow color, which is the same color as her hair, and then I'm adding in the shading where there should be shading. Add in her pupils over top, and now I'm adding in highlights. I feel like I add way too many highlights, and I guess I just need to practice just drawing portraits of people and figuring out how to work lighting and... I'm adding in a bunch of scrapey scribbles and scratches across her shirt to make it look like the texture of fabric. I add the gold yellow to the hand, and I add the gold, like the gold whitey color to give it the shine of the hand. I add the little gems in the top, and I add shading to the gems. This one is the bearded lady from Vampire's Assistant. Gotta be honest, not sure why she has scarlet hair and scarlet eyes and a beak. Why does she have a beak? I guess the beard was translated to beak at some point, and then they were just like, well, everything else is red. Slam some more red in there. They really went heavy with the red. Yeah, okay. I mean, this doesn't look like the same character at all. Whatever. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thought it was a fun little idea, combining Google Translate with character descriptions. If you guys like this video, don't forget to share it around. Hit the like button and subscribe, because I will be posting more, hopefully. I'm really bad at posting consistently. Later.